Welcome, everyone. My name is Marquessa Patway, your business reinvention expert, the founder and chief coach of the National Center for Speaker Training, where I create influential speakerpreneurs. I'm also a proud Speaker Magazine columnist, and I have the privilege of featuring what I consider, and a lot of us do, celebrities in the speaking business. What is that path they take that gets them there? All right. And today, our guest is the infamous Jeffrey Hayzlett, who is a primetime TV host of C-Suite with Jeffrey Hayzlett and Executive Perspectives on C-Suite TV. His business podcast is All Business with Jeffrey Hayzlett, which comes on CBS On Demand Radio Network, Play.it. Now, if you do not have Jeffrey's book, what are you doing? And only get it if you want to play bigger. This is his third book. You can find it at any bookstore, and it's called Think Big, Act Bigger. It was released last year. Welcome, Jeffrey Hayzlett. Thank you so much for agreeing to share your secrets with everybody.
Thank you so much. In fact, yeah, that book was released about 8-9 months ago. We sold about 400,000 copies already, and it's just been flying off the shelf. And we've been really excited about it. So think big, act bigger. That's what you should be doing. It's, it's not the lucky who win, it's the relentless. And we're going to be talking about, excuse me, I'm getting all choked up here. We're going to be talking about, I've been doing interview after interview all day, just doing my own shows as well, but doing this. We're going to talk about being a celebrity. And you've got to be, in order to do this business, you're going to have to be relentless about the things you do and how you do it, because, a lot of people think it's a lot of nice stuff, and it's hard work. It's hard work.
Now, Jeffrey, here's a question, because folks are going to look you up and check you out. And I know you're speaking all over the world. And they're going to wonder, did he start off as a speaker first or as a celebrity first in a different space? Where did
I think what you do is you find that you come from your expertise. You can, there's a couple ways to look at it. And I always tell people who want to get into this business, the ways to look is decide, do you want fame or do you want fortune? Because pick one, you're only going to get one. And there's a few of us who have been able to get both. I mean, I'm growing at like 1,000, 1,500 Twitter followers a day. I got millions of people watching our television show, 100,000 plus that, downloading the podcast, and it keeps growing because we've only been around for a little bit, but we do make, quite frankly, millions on that as well. And you got to decide, do you want fame or you want fortune? I always tell people you should go for fortune first, which means be really good at what you do and the things that you do and build the business. And if you build the business, you usually can get fame. And if you can't, you can buy it later. And so that's the best way I always describe it. It's rare that you get both. Now, I do believe a lot of people want the fame more than they want the fortune. I happen to be a guy that likes a lot of things. I like to drink nice scotch. I like my wife to have nice things. I want my children to have a great legacy. I want to buy more land so that I could be the largest landowner in South Dakota. And I want a new tractor, and those things cost money. And so I got to be really good at what I do.
Excellent, excellent. So as speakers listen to this and read this interview in Speaker Magazine, what's one step that you took in your journey that helped you create a lot of influence, Jeffrey? Because that's really what a celebrity is, an influential person, a person that folks like, know, and trust, and other brands want to get behind the celebrity because of who they know and how influential they are. So what are some influential steps you took in your journey?
Well, the biggest thing I would tell you is, what have you done for other people? What do you do for other people? I think, I've been a chief marketing officer of a Fortune 100 company, and most people will tell you I'm probably one of the best connected people there is in the C-suite, meaning I know a lot of folks. And what I do is I go out of my way to connect people all the time. And somebody will say, well, what's in it for you? Well, I'm helping somebody else. And a great speaker who's been involved with NSA, and I heard him once get up and stand. His name's Gary Rifkin. Well, a lot of people know Gary, and he got up and said at an annual meeting one time, if you give, you get. And I think that's the philosophy I've always had. I've always looked to help connect people. I never burn a bridge. I don't want to work with assholes, but at the same time, I never burn a bridge. And so I'm always looking to say, how can I put two people together? And the value of that becomes your influence, because pretty soon everybody says what a great guy you are, what a great woman you are. how you help other people, and your influence grows organically. And there's things you can do inorganically in order to expand that and do that and build your base, build your fans, and go to where the people are. I think those are important. But I really think if you're talking about influence, I will tell you that another thing I think people don't spend enough time doing is, what is it you want to build? When we sat down and we started to build the brand of Jeffrey Hayzlett, and we did as a team. Now I'm in the marketing business, so we take it and look at it like a product. But we say, what's our conditions of satisfaction? What is it that I want to get out of it first as an entity, me personally? What do I want to have when this is all over and I'm close to being dead, or I'm done with my career? What do I want to say that this was? And then second is, what are the things that we want to drive as a brand? Not the look and feel, those are important, but really what's the promise that we want to deliver to people? And so we built an entity around me to do that. And we've been very, very methodic. I think most people know we've risen high. We've done a really good job. We work really hard at it. I've got a great team, and we invest a lot of money in it as well. We invest more than a lot of other people do, because we know the value of PR. We know the value of social media. We know the value of great marketing. But at the end, you still got to be good. And if you're not good at what you do, it doesn't matter how many coats of paint on it, it's still going to look like a shitty house.
That's very true. And you definitely have, Jeffrey. I remember years ago, you did a wonderful presentation for NSA in NYC, where you really broke down your business model and how you created the brand of Jeffrey, and how, based on your brand, you've identified, all right, this company would be great to be associated with. I remember it was a luggage company. Because
Toomey. Yeah, it was Toomey. I know exactly what it was. Toomey luggage. I mean, a lot of people out there, a lot of speakers learn from this. I mean, you complain about things. I never complain publicly. Okay. Now, do I get upset? Yeah. But when I tweet good things. I don't tweet bad things, because I don't want my brand to be a bad thing. I want to be inspirational, aspirational. And so I remember tweeting something great about Toomey, and then they remembered me and then hired me for a video. And then, that's how I got it. Glenfiddich Scotch. How I get Glenfiddich. How I get Dunkin Donuts. Dunkin Donuts is one of my sponsors, because I love frickin' Dunkin Donuts. Are you kidding me? Look at this face. It eats a lot of donuts. It drinks a lot of coffee. And so therefore, I'm just like them. And so America runs on Dunkin. So does my business show run on Dunkin. Okay. United Airlines. I can go right on that. Liberty Tax. I help them sell franchises via my shows. So, but I live and breathe it, and I got to like the brand. But in essence, yeah, be nice about things, and that's how you get things. And tie them to the brand. It's again, an extension of the brand. That's what we're talking about, right? So Toomey's luxury. When you think about Jeff Hayzlett, C-suite, cowboy, rugged, well, those are all the great things and attributes about, the brands that I typically try to represent.
But here's the thing. If you approach the Dunkin Donuts, the Toomey luggage, and all of these different companies, the Liberty Tax, they're going to say, well, it sounds good, but there's a lot of folks that love our stuff. But what makes them choose to work with Jeffrey Hayzlett?
Well,
Go ahead.
Well, I show them that we break down the audience that we have. We break down who participates. We show them the engagement on the brand. We give them ideas on how we can interact with them and help them, so that when I can sit there and show them, hey, look, I helped you sell this franchise. I'll help you sell. How many do you have to sell? Okay. I will be aspirational to this marketplace, which you want to reach. How do we best do that? Dunkin Donuts. How can I help them meet other celebrities, quite frankly, where other celebrities talk about Dunkin Donuts? I interviewed Jim Cook today, who's the founder of Sam Adams Boston Beer Company. He's got a brand new book called Quench Your Thirst, the business lessons over a beer or two. And so I interviewed Jim. And so in the middle of it, I have to stop and do a commercial. And I say, hey, by the way, Jim, you're there in Boston. You hang around Dunkin Donuts? He goes, I love Dunkin Donuts. He talks about it. I have Steve Forbes on my show. Steve Forbes talks about how he stops in New Jersey at one of the Dunkin Donuts every morning for a donut and a cup of coffee. So I show the interaction of the product organically. And so that helps them, and we can now activate that. So it's got a bigger life. It goes to 24 million Facebook fans. It goes to 2.4 million, Twitter followers on Dunkin with that little clip, So those are little things that we do.
This is great. So what I'm hearing is a couple of your strategies is, first of all, reach out and a certain brand that maybe you're attracted to for whatever reason, kind of build that relationship with them, you know, show them, let them know this is how I can help you. This is how I can take you to the next level. Clearly, you share with them your social proof, where you are, what you're doing, and then you take that relationship and turn it maybe into a financially beneficial relationship, I'm assuming.
Absolutely. I mean, another couple examples that I've got, it's like SaneBox. Right now, I love SaneBox, and I approached that company because I was having a problem with my email. And I got too many emails. I got 300-400 emails a day. I can't get to them. I wake up in the morning, I got 80, 90 emails in my inbox. And SaneBox helps me sort through that. So I went to them. We formed a relationship. Now they're a sponsor of my podcast. You know, Glenfiddich Scotch, great example. I mean, I love Scotch. Who doesn't love Scotch? You know, I'm still going after other ones. Constant Contact. Yeah. Recently did a videos for Constant Contact. In fact, yesterday I think I got 150,000 views on our video that I did for Constant Contact about how to do your own marketing program. And Constant Contact came to us because I have a large number of entrepreneurs, a large number of business owners, and a large number of marketers who are interactive. And we can show that on our brand. And they see when I tweet things out about certain products, people buy it. So, but I have to believe in it. So the first thing I did was, hey, to my team, do we use Constant Contact? Yes, great. Now let's talk to them about how we use it and the way in which we use it. Then it becomes very organic and real. So it's not something that's fake. So a big part of my brand is its authenticity in terms of I got to believe it. Because if I don't like it, if I don't want to use it, I'm not going to talk about it. So that's a big important thing for me. And so that comes through. I mean, it comes through. People know I drink Dunkin' coffee. They know I drink, you know, you can probably tell right now, 8 espressos a day, okay? You know, so you know, those are the kind of
Jeffrey, 8. Wow.
Well, at least 8, minimum 8, minimum.
That's out there. Now, here's the thing. So then we're talking about speakers. So sounds to me as if a speaker is really good at speaking, they have their expertise, they've built their audience, but they want to take it to the next level and go to that celebrity level. If they were to look at your path and what you've done, the thing is, first of all, have an online strategy. Don't just sit up here and say, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on whatever. Have an online strategy and reach out and touch the big boys out there that you resonate with and see how you guys can do business together. Would that be a good?
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, I'm friends with a lot of different people. One that I have on the show, and two, they lead to other things. I work the red carpets. I do those kinds of things. You know, I get invited to the Super Bowl and to lots of different, you know, big parties and so forth and so on. So, yeah, but you got to work at it. You got to keep it in mind. What is it that I want to get? How do I get to them? And you never stop until you do that. So how did I come, you know, I've been lucky because I was like a judge on Celebrity Apprentice TV. I had my own TV show, but it took me 3 years to get my own freaking TV show. Okay. And I mean, I know people and I worked at it. I even had the money, meaning I had people who were willing to put the money into the show, but doesn't mean I can get it on. Right. So you have to work hard and you gotta suck it up. Now, a lot of people in the speaking business, this is kind of an interesting thing. I used to be on Bloomberg. I got paid to be on Bloomberg. I got paid to show up a certain number of times, and many times I would show up on set, and at the last second, someone would come over and whisper to me and say, Jeff, we don't want you on today. Now, I've seen speakers pitch hissy fits, okay, that they're there, and who am I? I'm this person, and you didn't let me on? Oh, my God. And they pitch fits, and I'm going like, no, whatever. I'm here to help you. When do you need me back? When can I come back? Because I know the value of that medium, and I know the value of that time. And even though I might be pissed, a little peeved, I'm still getting a check. Now, I was getting paid. But even if you're not getting paid and you have to work to build that, you got to understand, you got to do anything you can in order to get to that status, which means you have to beg, borrow, steal. You have to suck it up. You have to get over your frickin' ego, and you have to learn that you're at the bottom of the totem pole, not at the top. And even when you have your own show, okay? You know, my friends Damon John, my friends Trace Adkins, my friends Donald Trump, they'll all tell you, you know, you still got to do certain things because that's what you have to do to get what you want to do. And so let me say, if you're based in Kansas City and you want to be a celebrity, you got to move to where the food is, you know? You know, if you want to be on television, it means you got to be in LA, you got to be in New York City. Okay? Now, if you think they're going to hook up a television satellite, spend $2,000 to $5,000 so they can put you on the air for 3 minutes, you got to be very special for that to happen. Okay? I luckily get that to happen today. Meaning if I call them today and pitch them on a couple of ideas for CNN, Fox, whoever, can I probably get on if I'm in Kansas City? Yes, but I've paid my dues. When I first got started, no, they want me there. It means I got to jump on a plane and get there. And I got to be there. And a lot of people forget that.
And one thing, too, you've done very well, Jeffrey, because in the speaking business, we have a lot of celebrities. And even my good friend, Kim Coles, who I'm going to interview next, was on a hit TV show in Living Color, Living Single. She's on the OWN network. She's all over the place. And she says, Marquessa, 1 minute you're relevant, the next minute you're not relevant. How do you stay relevant, Jeffrey? How do you stay relevant?
Stay on top of it. Stay on top of it. You got to change it. You got to move it. Adapt, change, or die. It's really like that. I mean, I talk about that in my book, Think Big, Act Bigger. You have to reinvent yourself, be relentless about it every single day. I mean, so people say, well, geez, you're always going on TV. Well, that's because every day we look at the headlines. Every day we look at what the stories are. We write to those producers. We write to those bookers, and we say, here's 3 ideas for your show today. Mm-hmm. And Jeff can speak here. Here's what he will say, because they want to kind of know what my take is, right? Mm-hmm. And how that's going to be useful for them. So we do the work for them. Mm-hmm. So we're a valuable resource, but we're relevant because we're paying attention to the news, we're paying attention to the stories, and we're making ourselves relevant to the people we need to be relevant to. It's really that simple. And if you don't, you're going to be, your street pizza. You're going to be flat. You're going to be street pizza. You're going to be run over by a Mack truck because they do not care. And, if you think they care about your book, you think they care about you, are you kidding me? Look, they stack the books underneath their monitors. That's what they use your books for in the television studio. You got to get really humble here and understand, you're not the game. You got to play the game. And that's a difference that a lot of people really haven't drank that Kool-Aid to understand. And no matter how big you think you are, there is always someone bigger
and more important.
Exactly.
Any final tips for there have been some seasoned speakers out there that are saying, why can't I just have my big break? There are newbies that have the talent. Jeffrey, what can you say to them? What's that final advice piece?
Don't give up. Be relentless, but be relentless, be yourself. And the other thing is realize that you're up against a massive tidal wave. Let's just take a book, for instance. There are 3 million new business books out every single year. The average business book sells 7,500 copies in its lifetime. For you to be a bestseller, you've got to break above the noise, which means you've got to do things differently. You can't do the same things. You have to really look at this tactically, strategically, and implement tactically every single day in order to get to where you want to go. But if you don't have an idea of what that takes and what it looks like, and by the way, in everything you do, you're going to have to give up choices. So remember a seesaw when we were kids? And you push on one end, the other end's got to give. That's what you're going to do every day. You're going to have to make decisions. Means I'm going to have to not take that speech in order I can be in New York the next day. Okay? Or it means, hey, look, to do that, I'm going to have to, like today, I got a speech that's coming up in 2 weeks from now that someone just called me, and I've got a charter plane from New York to fly to Orlando in order to make it. It's going to cost me about 10 grand for that charter. Okay? Which I'm giving up $10,000 out of my fee. Is it worth it? Yeah, because I'm going to make money on the other piece of it. So, but you've got to be willing to make the changes and do things, or even cancel other speeches, or call other speakers, which we've done, and said, hey, would you move a day if I can get the organizer to do it? And by the way, I'll buy you and your wife a weekend in Fort Lauderdale, or take you to Vegas or something like that, so I can pick up that fee. So we've done those kinds. So you're going to have to push and make decisions, and you're going to have to be very flexible. And by the way, the last piece of advice, get over yourself. Get over yourself.
Wow.
And, we all put our pants on or our dresses on, depending on who we are. We put them on the same, okay? Some a little bit bigger, some a little bit smaller. But You know, we all put them on the same, and I don't care who you are. You know, get over yourself.
Wow. Well, you are such a resource. Again, I didn't mention you are also a Hall of Fame winner.
Yeah.
We are proud of you in the New York City chapter.
I'm in five Hall of Fames. Five industry Hall of Fames. I can't even keep track of them, but direct marketing, business marketing, printing Hall of Fame, sales and marketing Hall of Fame, and speaking Hall of Fame.
Oh, I love
Yeah, baby. That's a 5-peat. That's a 5, not even 3-peat. That's a 5-peat.
So you gotta want it, be relentless, and go after. And just like your book says, I want to make sure I say it right. Act bigger.
No, think big, act bigger. The rewards of being relentless. It's not the lucky who win; it's the relentless. So you go out there and be relentless, and rise and be the star you can be. That's really what you got to do.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey. You're amazing.
Thank you,
guys. Make sure give them a website and where to find you.
Hayzlett, HAYZLETT.com, or go to anything with C-Suite, C-Suite Book Club, C-Suite TV, C-Suite Radio, C-Suite Network. When we love to have you involved with what we're doing in the C-Suite.
Oh, he represents a lot of my friends, guys. So check him out. Jeffrey, hold on. I'm going to conclude the interview, guys. Thank you so much.